Hi, Rukaya. Thank you so much for taking the time to be part of our Meet Our Tobacco Free Kids Youth Ambassador Series. To start off, we'd love it if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Rukaya Alrubaye, and I'm a senior at Haas Hall Academy in Arkansas. I love to paint and sing and read and play with my two cats at home and spend time with my family. I'm a substance misuse and abuse preventionist, and I work with the Northwest Arkansas Tobacco and Drug Free Coalition to create a safe space and prevent the rise of substance misuse and abuse among teens in Arkansas.
That's amazing. And what exactly inspired you to get involved in tobacco control and substance control?
Yeah, what inspired me is that I was born in Iraq and moved to the United States when I was 2 years old. And in Iraq and in the Middle East and other third world countries, there's a culture of tobacco and smoking use. So I knew when I came here to America, where it's like the land of opportunities, that I would need to take advantage of the opportunity that came my way to start a coalition here and really make a change in my community.
Yeah, that's amazing. And, what do you think, for you as a youth advocate yourself and a youth ambassador for the campaign, what are the things that you feel make youth advocates important and impactful, and what kind of makes your advocacy really effective among yourself and your peers?
Yeah, I believe a leader and an advocate should definitely have the ability to listen to others. I think that's something that's really helped me, and since I started working in substance misuse and abuse prevention, is my ability to listen to those around me and to their stories, because a lot of the time they don't feel listened to and they resort to these substances as an escape from their realities. Of course, this isn't always the case, but I just want people to know that I'm there for them and I will listen to them. And this has helped me because I've had people come to me in the past, people who I really considered friends, and they've admitted to me that they've resorted to these substances as a stress reliever in their lives. And so I think definitely the ability to listen should definitely be something that a leader has, as well as sympathy and the determination to help people.
I completely agree. And, it makes me think of another question, where as you're listening to your peers and as you're kind of like gaining a sense of what's kind of weighing on them, or what's kind of affecting them in their personal lives, what do you think are the things that are affecting your generation the most? And how do you think this is kind of related to tobacco use, or how is it influencing tobacco use among your peers?
I would say social media is a big thing. I have social media. Most people have social media these days, and there's of course many pluses to it, but there's also a lot of negatives. Social media has the ability to spread things very quickly. So if a celebrity posts a photo of them vaping or smoking or using a hookah or marijuana or drinking, all of these things are things that the younger generation will look up to. They'll look up to those people and they'll be like, I want to be like them. And so I think social media is one big aspect. Another aspect is home life. I think that's something that many of us don't take into consideration, is what are the aspects that led this person to wanting to resort to substance misuse and abuse. And then lastly, I would say school. Of course, there's many other examples, but I think school is a big aspect because we put so much pressure on education and taking advantage of those opportunities. But a lot of the time, this leads to excess stress with a lot of the youth in our generation, to make them feel like they need to be perfect and they don't know how to get there because it's impossible to be perfect. But in that moment, they just want to be as close as they can to that and get all their assignments turned in and really have these societal pressures to be perfect.
Yeah. And that's so much to deal with. And I think that like each one of those pieces that you brought up are very significant parts of, youth and growing up nowadays. So, with those three components that you talked about with, school and home life and social media, um, what are like some words of advice that you would kind of offer your peers to kind of deal with each one of these pieces? Because that is a lot of pressure. Everything you mentioned comes with a lot. And I think would just love to hear if there are any like words of advice that you would extend to your peers and other youth out there.
Absolutely. I would say have a really good circle. And even if you can't have a good circle of connection, find somebody or something that you can use to get your mind off things that's not a substance. These substances are the tobacco companies and all these different harmful substance companies claim that they are there for you. They claim that these products will help you. And I would just like my generation to know that these products are not going to help you any better than something else. Something else would be able to help you and it would help you in the long run too. Whereas these harmful products would not. They would make it much worse for you in the long run. I would say try to find a hobby, or maybe read or do something, go on a run, just be more active in other ways rather than resorting to these substances. And I would say keep working hard and stay determined and stay true to your morals and values, and don't deter from your goals no matter how tough it is in this society to do that.
Yeah, and those are all great pieces of advice. So, thank you for that. And I think that's really helpful and useful for other people to know. And just kind of piggybacking off of that, what are some of the things that, advice or something you would tell yourself from 5 years ago, to kind of remind yourself that maybe it's something like, oh, you're going to be okay, or you're enough, or whatever these things are. And then also, to go along with that, what's one thing you would want to tell your future self, or like a piece of advice you'd want to tell your future self?
Absolutely. I would tell myself from 5 years ago, keep working hard. And as I said earlier, stay true to your morals and values, because those are what are going to get me through my life. I think something that's really difficult these days is to really stay true to yourself and stay true to everything that you aspire to be. And I think that's just because of all the societal pressures that we have nowadays. And so I would tell myself, keep persevering, stay true to your morals and values, stay close to your family and your friends, and create that good circle for you. Make sure you have good friends and good role models that you look up to, people that you want to aspire to be like. Surround yourself with those positive influences. And then 5 years from now, I would tell myself, just maybe ask, like, how are you doing? Did you stay true to your morals and values? Are you on your road to becoming like a surgeon? Did you change your goals? And I would also ask my future self, have you stayed close to your family? How has that worked out for you? How has college worked out for you? But just things like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So another question, more geared towards your advocacy efforts. What's been your biggest accomplishment in your advocacy so far? And also, what's your biggest goal moving forward? Like, what do you aspire to do moving forward?
Absolutely. I would say my biggest honor was being named the National Youth Advocate of the Year by Tobacco Free Kids. That was a really special moment for me, because, I mean, 5 years ago, or even longer than that, I aspired to grow up and change the world. And these days, and especially when I received that award, that it was really an honor for me. And it was a moment that made me feel special, because I knew at one point in time that's exactly what I had wanted. I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to help people across the country and the world. And I found my purpose through tobacco and substance misuse prevention. And then my biggest goal, I hope to become a surgeon. I hope to be a cardiothoracic surgeon, and that really goes along with tobacco and substance misuse and abuse, because lots of these people will develop heart conditions or lung conditions, and multiple different conditions later in their life that usually require surgery or some sort of rehabilitation to fix.
That's amazing. And it sounds like you've got such a bright future ahead, and you really where you want to be. And I think that's so amazing and so commendable. So congratulations on kind of like paving this path and staying on it. I think that's awesome. Yeah, of course. So just, like a fun couple questions at the end, just to kind of like cap the interview off and just kind of like get a feel for, the things that make you who you are. So what are some things that make you smile? And what kind of makes you who you are? What makes you feel confident in yourself and things like that?
Absolutely. What makes me who I am is the fact that I have remorse for people. I have empathy and sympathy, and I have the ability to listen. And I feel like that's something that our society misses a lot, is listening to other people, and not just saying, but listening in return, so you can truly understand and have those conversations. Some things that make me smile are really just coming home to my supportive family at the end of the day. And I'm truly lucky and thankful to have them. And they've always been there for me, and they've really supported me in my journey. And so coming home to my family, having those meals, watching a movie together, those are all things that really make me smile. Playing with my two cats, who I consider a part of my family, they're my children. Just playing with them, that makes me smile. Singing, baking, painting, all of these different things make me smile at the end of the day.
That's amazing. So you mentioned singing. What's your go-to karaoke song? Just humor me.
I would say Can't Help Falling in Love by Andrea Bocelli. I grew up, my parents would always put that on in the car, especially around Christmas time when we're all, trying to get cozy and drink some hot cocoa. And so singing that song and even listening to it has always brought back memories to me. I grew up like singing it, even if I didn't know the words, I would hum it. But now I do know the words, so I definitely karaoke to that song all the time.
Yeah, I love that song too. um, so this has been just great. It's been absolutely amazing. Getting to know you. Thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule, I'm sure, to talk with us. And it's been a pleasure learning more about you. Your journey and your story is just so inspiring, and we can't wait to hear about the amazing things you'll do in the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.